Hello, everybody. Today we're going to explore what the vertical and horizontal line test does. So let's get started. For a vertical line test, basically you draw a vertical line on a graph, and if two or more points are hit, then the graph isn't a function. The horizontal line test has it the other way around, where if the horizontal line hits two or more points, the graph is in no way a one-to-one function. Which of these graphs defines a function y equals f of x? Which of these graphs defines a one-to-one function? So to figure out if a graph is a function, you will use the vertical line test. So you draw a vertical line on a graph, and if it hits 2 points or more, then it's not a function. Since this hit only 1 point, then this is a function. Now let's try the horizontal line test. If the horizontal line hits 2 or more points, then it's not a one-to-one function. As we can see here, it hits 3 points. So this is not a one-to-one function. Use the vertical line test, and this graph passes the vertical line test, and it seems to also pass the horizontal line test since it only hits 1 point, and that would mean it's a one-to-one function. This, however, doesn't seem to pass the vertical line test, so it isn't a function. And since it's not a function, we don't have to even consider if it's a one-to-one function, because a one-to-one function cannot exist if the graph is not a function. Select all of the following graphs which represent y as a function of x. So when you see a straight line, you know it's a one-to-one function because there's only one input value. One input value has exactly one output value. So there's no need to consider to use a test, really, because it's a straight line. When you see a straight line, you automatically know it's a one-to-one function. This passes the vertical line test, and so this is a function. Only hits 1 point, but it does not pass the horizontal line test since it hits 3 points. So it's not a one-to-one function, but it's a function. This does not pass the vertical line test. It hits 3 points, and that cannot be a function. And since it's not a function, it's not a one-to-one function either. This passed the vertical line test, but not the horizontal line test. Just 3 lines, so we don't have to do work to see if it's a one-to-one function. And when you see a circle, it's not a function, because the circle always breaks this rule of having two output values for the same input value. This is a circle also. Since we see this is a circle, it's not a function because it's an oval. We use the horizontal line test in here, and it does seem to be a one-to-one function, and it also passes the vertical line test. There's only 1 point. Let's see here, and passes the vertical line test and also the horizontal line test. So this is a one-to-one function. This also seems to pass the vertical line test, but it does not seem to pass the horizontal line test. You see there's 4 points that are crossed by the horizontal line, and that is not a one-to-one function, but it's a function. This is a straight line, so we know it's a one-to-one function. This is a square root function. That's one of the important toolkit functions you need to know. This passes the vertical line test. So this is a function. And it passes the horizontal line test. So it's a one-to-one function. And there you go. The vertical line test and the horizontal line test are very important to know, because you use this when you have a problem, like in a worksheet or in a test. You might need to use it. The problem might not say, is this graph a one-to-one function? You might not say that, but if there's a problem that gives a graph and you use the horizontal and vertical line test, and if you know that the graph is a one-to-one function, you know something about that graph. You know that for there's exactly one input for every output. There's exactly one output. So if there's a multiple choice that had two outputs with one exact input, that would be wrong, because the one-to-one function can't have that, and that will be an application where you would need to use it. So I suggest that do not see this as do not brush this off, because it can be useful when you look at graphs.